Well, here it is, the day before the election, and I'm not sure I'm going to get this edited and up before midnight, but I'm going to try because there's some stuff here you need to know, folks. And some of it has to do with a definite, documented coup against the United States. So stick with me, folks, and I'll be right back. Hey everybody, this is Deb with Truthification Chronicles. And oh my goodness, are we going to make it through this election or what? Oh, just so many things happening. I'm really getting tired. And I know President Trump's got to be, because that rally Sunday night didn't get done until way late. So, yeah, and with the time change and everything, it's like, oh man, my body's just not up to this anymore. Anyway, we're going to do it. We're going to make it because we're tough, remember, because this is a land of the free and the home of the brave. And we're brave enough to make it through this, right? Well, I've got some stuff you've got to see on this one. I just felt I had to get this done. And, oh, here we go. So to start out with, we're going to start with this General Flynn post. This was a tweet that he did. And on November 3rd, we must choose winners versus losers, optimism versus discouragement, persistence versus aggression, truth versus fake news, and democracy versus socialism. So we need to vote for President Trump, for President Deeds, Not Words versus half a century of corruption. And I think we need to use this hashtag and get it trending. Send the deep state packing. Yep, we need to do that. So here's this picture. And, I think it's kind of interesting that he's got this light beam coming down on Trump and everything. But I will leave this for you. All the links are always down below. Remember, they're in the description. You may have to, if you're on a mobile device, you may have to pop open a little triangle, click that or something to make it pop open. But it's there. And if you're on a regular website, you can find them there too. They're underneath the video and in the description part. So let's go on, because this was something that I posted in the previous video, and we talked about, and from the angle that I showed, it did look like the white car was not the aggressor, that the black truck was. But I have since seen, other views of it, and I want to thank all of you that gave me links, because there were several of you that did. I really appreciate that, because it saves me time having to go look for them. And so here's one of them you need to see from a different angle. And you can just go through and you can see various ones. And it really does show that the truck was where it was supposed to be, that the white vehicle had moved over. And so the truck was back here and he moved up. And so that was it. Now, I know some people said, well, they're not supposed to be getting that close anyway. It's city traffic. They kind of do get close, especially, it looks like it was a pretty busy time of day, and there was a lot of traffic, but a lot of it was the Trump people. They were escorting the bus out of Texas because they weren't very happy, and just wanted to make sure that they made it all the way out. Now, neither Harris nor Biden were on that bus at the time. They're too good to travel by bus, right? Well, Joe doesn't go any further than, I think maybe he's going to be in Ohio today on Monday, but he doesn't usually go much further than Pennsylvania. Delaware, Pennsylvania, that's probably where he kind of hangs out. And Kamalalala is the one that's been going around, but even that, she's not doing much. And I heard that the Obama Biden type rally that they had only had a handful, I think 500 people or less, and Trump's pulling in crowds that are incredible. I think the one in Pennsylvania, that one in Butler, Pennsylvania, had, what did I just hear? Rush Limbaugh was talking about 45,000. I don't know, but it was a lot. There were a lot of people. So I'm going to leave this down below. You can look at it for yourself and see the angles. I really do think that the white vehicle was not behaving correctly and that they paid for it. One of these somewhere, I don't know if it's on this one or where, but yeah, they showed the side of it and that white vehicle got just annihilated. The whole side of the car. And I don't think it did anything to the truck because they hit the tires. So anyway, yeah, here's a video too, so you can find out about that as well. Oh, there it is. Look at this. Yeah, there's what it looked like. So yeah, didn't pay off for them to do that, did it? Anyway, so I'll leave those down below. I do believe now that I've seen all the footage from the various angles, I just had one angle to go with, and that shows you that there's always other angles. You need to probably not make a decision until you've seen all the angles. Now, like I said, when I was doing that video, I said, from this video, it appears that this is the truth. So you just have to be aware that I hadn't seen all the videos yet. Now that I have, I understand what reality was. So there you go. And then President Trump also just kind of jumped in here because this Ana Cabrera was saying, and she's, from CNN, and she said, just in, the FBI is investigating an incident in Texas on Friday involving the alleged harassment of a Biden-Harris campaign bus by motorists displaying Trump 2020 flags. A law enforcement source familiar with the investigation tells CNN. And so Trump comes back, he says, this story is false. They did nothing wrong. But the Antifa anarchists, rioters, and looters who have caused so much harm and destruction in Democrat-run cities are being seriously looked at. So, woohoo, I can't wait until they're, arrested for what they've been doing. But I've got more on that, folks. Oh, just stuff that's going to boil your blood, so stick with me. This one is a Philly teacher said that the school lunch workers gave ballots to kids, a few months ago. And when then they called him and, I hate it when they do that. They called him and then he's like, I can't talk to you. And that's what this is right here. And they tried to get more information on it. And he says, I can't talk to you. And he hung up. So very interesting. He says there's nothing you can do about it at this point anyway. So you gotta wonder, I don't know, given, were they real ballots? It could be, that they were just printed out ballots. Cause you can go to an Indiana website and you can see who's supposed to be on your ballot. And so I could see a teacher or teachers printing out, a copy of that, and it could be like a mock ballot, and showing it to kids and having them vote, because we've done that before. When the 2008 election with Obama, we did a mock election in our school, and unfortunately it was a very Democrat area, and everybody wanted to jump on the bandwagon of, a historic vote for a black man. Yeah, and so he overwhelmingly won in the school I was teaching in. It was not a pleasant experience that year, not at all. Well, anyway, you probably might be looking up here at my search, what I was searching for. This is something just totally off the wall, guys. This is going to be a demonetized video, so I'm just going to put it all in here. Yeah, this guy right here has created an alligator tongue and human spine bag. That is a child's spine. And he claims that it was ethically sourced from Canada. So I'm gonna put the search there so you can actually go through and see some of these, but I will list this one right here where he designed this bag made from alligator tongue and human spine. So it's an ideal statement piece. For who? Just creepy. But with all we know, I don't put it past him. So, yeah, look at that. It's just terrible. Terrible. I don't care. He says that they had like an overflow, people give their bodies to science, and evidently this child had osteoporosis really bad, and so it donated probably his parents had donated the child's body to science. I don't think this is what the parents were expecting. No. That's just sad. Anyway, I needed to point that out to you. Really creepy stuff. Okay, let's get back to election things. The White House seen behind a fence and protest posters on the day before the 2020 elections. So there it is, folks. That's what our White House looks like right now. Yeah. Well, that's not the worst of it, okay? That's not the worst. Guess what? This came out, and here are some liberal employees of our government who are planning a coup. Now, this is where I first saw it, and I'll leave this thread if you have Twitter because it's really good to spread and to, you can retweet it really easily. But here's a better copy of the videos so that you can see them. And I don't know where they ended up getting them, but yes, these people down here, when you go through it, dozens of leaked internal documents and Zoom call video footage were made public Sunday describing plans by progressive activists and federal workers to disrupt and destabilize the outcome of Tuesday's presidential election, including plans to shut down the White House. It's a coup. Don't let anyone tell you it's not, a woman states during one Zoom session. Yeah, she just said that. I'm not going to go through all of it and play it for you because I really want to get this out. But I'm serious, folks. You need to watch this video. There's this video, and they're just talking like, it would be a regular group of people and, getting together for a work Zoom call. And then they're talking about how to overthrow the election, essentially, and to the point of taking over buildings. The videos and documents discuss a well-coordinated plan to shut down federal buildings, including the White House, public transportation portals, and disrupt Congress when it returns post-election. Sunrise is an umbrella movement comprised of 400 hubs and hundreds of affinity groups, including 350.org and Extinction Rebellion. This is scary. When you watch this, it is scary. Here's what they're trying to do. They're going to invite everyone to the BLM Plaza, which is now out in front of our White House, anytime after 4:00 on election night. So if you live in that area and you want to go represent our president, maybe you want to stop by there or something. On the 5th, we're going to shut down the White House. On the 6th, we're going to shut down larger parts of D.C. And then the following week, all the mainstream groups are going to come to D.C. and try to have a march on the 7th. So be aware of that, what's going on. I'm telling you, they know Trump is going to win, and he's going to win big. So it goes on, folks. It goes on. Whoever's got the guns can win. Let's take over the buildings. They may be armed. They may be armed. Is there going to be a war? Are people going to get killed? Is that on anybody else's mind? I'm guessing it is. We're going to see potential fighting all over the country or in some hot spots. That's said on the video, okay? And here's, almost 5-minute part of it. So, this is scary stuff, folks. You need to watch this. You really do. You need to share this whole thing. And make sure people watch those videos because just stunning. I sat there with my jaw open all the time. I think it was just like, no way, these people are really saying this. And they were talking about how being in the government, they could just muck things up so bad. I mean, they could just cause real problems, slowdowns, omissions and commissions. They were talking about things that they could do that would be omitting things they're supposed to produce, and then commissions would be like leaking things specifically. Like they leaked some document that had been doctored, and they leaked it as if it was real. So you just sit there listening to these people and you can't believe it's real, but I guess it is. Well, then an Antifa-affiliated Twitter account shares riot strategy guides in preparation for U.S. election fallout, no matter who wins. Now, at this point, I'm going to put in a little information here. We have talked many times, the boss man has told us about the 10 days of darkness. And we've all speculated here and there, is this it? Is that it? Is that it? We don't know. Okay, I don't know. I'm not saying that this is it, but I do wonder if there will be a blackout of the internet. because the only way for the truth, the conservative truth, to get out there, most conservative outlets rely on the internet. Now, not all of them, obviously, there's talk radio and everything, but this is something that's very important to remember, that if they can control the narrative, if the only way, if the internet goes down, then the majority of people will go to their TV sets. And if your TV set is all the fake news, then that's all you're going to hear. And you're going to assume that whatever they're telling you is true, whether it is or not. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a little heads up on my thinking on that. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I do think that that should be something we should not be surprised if it does happen. But we also know that there will be ways around it. I believe that Project Odin is one of them, but I'm not sure how that's going to work. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if that's going to happen. I just thought I would put that out there. It's just a thought. Who knows? I don't know. It's been so unpredictable this entire year. So how can I predict anything now? I'm just going to tell you that it's a possibility. It's something I'm preparing for. So as the election looms, along with the potential of street conflict, here's a thread listing an array of informative guides. Let's review everything we've learned over the past several years. And so this is the revolution right here. This is their, from their website, that as U.S. citizens batten down the hatches in preparation for protests, riots, and general mayhem in the streets after Tuesday's presidential election, one Antifa-affiliated group is publishing riot strategy guides on Twitter. And that's okay, evidently. Twitter doesn't have a problem on that. They're not being fact-checked. This is the thing. They're not being checked at all. There is no disclaimer, nothing on here. This is okay to do. So, they're trying. They're definitely going to be trying. Within the thread are specific posts relating to helmets, gas masks, goggles, how best to deploy leaf blowers and laser pointers, as well as best practices for brandishing shields and umbrellas in the face of tear gas, and I think that's supposed to be non-lethal police munitions. And this organization even provided a handy protest simulator for would-be anarchists to test their mettle against the authorities in a choose-your-own-adventure game. So, this is crazy. And then they have this, which is a direct action guide, and that will take you to their website. And here's the step-by-step guide to direct action. And they have some of the things they can do. Some are like petitioning the authorities. Okay, I'm all for that. That's fine. If you want to petition authorities, that's up to you. Helping refugees escape to safety, blockading airports, organizing programs to liberate your community from reliance on capitalism. I'm telling you, this is just something. And here's the direct action in a nutshell. Choose a project and devise a plan, and then goals, and you have to have some kind of goals and establish and prioritize the goals of the action. And then down here, notice what is it intended to accomplish? Is it meant to communicate ideas, to call attention to an injustice, to inspire people to secure resources to set a particular tone, to inflict crippling material damages, to provide a deterrent, to, they don't even hide it anymore. So, again, I'm going to leave these links down below for you. So, here's another one from Real Clear Investigations that came out on the 2nd. And a court document shows Joe Biden listed as possible witness with son in fraud case. And this is here in the U.S., by the way. So, yes, a federal judge named Joe Biden as a possible witness, along with his son Hunter, in a criminal fraud case last year that ended in the convictions of 2 of Hunter's business partners, according to little notice court documents. The Democratic presidential candidate's appearance on a witness list casts new doubt on his claims he knew nothing about his son's shady business dealings. Well, we now know that he did, but anyway, so I'll leave that. And it's been out there. Nobody's just paying attention to it because our media doesn't seem to care if it's dirt on Joe. They seem to want to just hide it. Well, speaking of hiding, yeah, turns out the FBI has been hiding more Seth Rich documents. So, yeah, down here, they kept saying that these searches located no main or reference records responsive to plaintiff's FOIA request. That's what they kept getting. Well, guess what? They got one, and it's from, out of Texas. You'll have to read all the way down here. You can read this whole thing, of course, but down here, and now we have the next amazing development. After repeatedly denying the FBI had any documents regarding Seth Rich, the U.S. Attorney in Texas has admitted the FBI has a number of documents responsive to Mr. Clevenger's latest request. And Ty received the following cryptic notification. So here it is, from this Texas office. And it says, Ty regarding Huddleston FBI agency counsel has informed me that the search is complete and they are now working on a page count and conversion. I am preparing draft JCRs and scheduling orders in the TPP cases, which will forward to you this week. Interesting. So that's, like it says, this is more than another text or two that has been released. This is a new batch of material. So what could it be? It could be very interesting. So I'll leave that if you want to read more about that. I think that's pertinent and going to be interesting. Well, guess what? Yeah, more instances of tech tyranny. And Twitter has censored Tom Fitton's post because Tom Fitton said, let me get down here. Where is it? Okay, this is what he tweeted out. Counting ballots that arrive after Election Day means countless ballots can be placed in mail after the in-person polls close, but before midnight. How does this not increase risk of voter fraud? Okay, that's what he had. And of course, they censored it and put up the, thing about learn how voting by mail is safe and secure. Yeah, right. Okay, well, tell this guy. Because he says in Las Vegas, we have countless examples of loose ballots and bad rolls. We have an avalanche of misdelivered ballots in the trash, on top of the mailboxes, loose in apartment buildings, on the ground. Remember, Clark County won't allow observation or challenging of signatures. And so here's ballot in trash near mailbox on Lake Mead Boulevard. I mean, he's even got the locations. Ballot received for deceased spouse in Henderson. Ballot in trash on North Jones Boulevard. Ballot in trash near mailbox. 2 ballots loose on top of mailboxes on Vegas Drive. Look at this. Voter received 2 ballots to home with slight variations in spelling of name in Henderson, and received 19 ballots to 1 address, only 1 ballot correct in Las Vegas. Numerous ballots loose on apartment mailbox in Las Vegas. They're just up there. Anybody could pick those up. And then received duplicate ballots for husband and wife in Las Vegas. Ballots discarded in apartment mailbox room on Tamers Street. 4 ballots for 1 apartment loose at Starboard Drive. I mean, this is just ripe for fraud. I'm sorry, but Nevada, what you doing? I know it's not you guys. It's the crazies in charge. But, this is a whole list of them. But hey, there's no voter fraud. No way. No chance for fraud at all. Okay, I wanted to show you this one because this is regarding something that I have done a video on before. Do you remember the video I did on Hawkfish and the red mirage? Well, it's back, and they have been working. This Democrat data analytics firm, Hawkfish, revealed a social media campaign aimed at persuading voters to reject election night results. The National Pulse can reveal. So here we have it. And like I said, if you haven't seen that one about the Red Mirage, they're trying to make it sound like President Trump. It will appear that President Trump is winning, that the red is winning. And then all of a sudden, oh no, all these ballots will come in and it'll be all blue. Well, I don't think that's going to happen, but they're going to be faked. I mean, all they have to do is go to those apartment buildings and pick them all up. That would be significant. There's a lot of them in that, 19 to 1 apartment. That means 18 of those ballots right there in one place. So, and then all of them that were on top of those mailboxes, those two. But anyway, they have come up with some memes that they've been using to try to make people more accepting that we're not going to know on election day. And these were pre-tested creatives. These ads moved everyone 3 to 6 points to support vote by mail. They moved everyone 10 plus points up towards it will take longer than several days to know election results. Sports moved subgroups 4 to 11 points to trust election results, even if they change after election night. So they've been working on it, folks. Yeah, we need to take this into consideration. And again, if you haven't watched the video on Hawkfish and the Red Mirage, you need to see that one too. All right, well, these are a little hodgepodge. I'm sorry. I should have organized them a little bit better, but I just want to get this done and get it out. Okay, so the medical doctor warns that bacterial pneumonias are on the rise. Gee, I wonder why. A group is suing Tulsa Mayor G.T. Bynum and Tulsa Health Department Executive Director Bruce Dart, saying the city's mask mandate is harmful to healthy people. And I think that is definitely true. And if you look down here, James Meehan's been warning about this all along. He says, I'm seeing patients that have facial rashes, fungal infections, bacterial infections. Reports coming from my colleagues all over the world are suggesting that the bacterial pneumonias are on the rise. Why might that be? Because untrained members of the public are wearing medical masks repeatedly in a non-sterile fashion. They're becoming contaminated. They're pulling them off their car seat, off the rearview mirror, out of their pockets, from their countertop, and they're reapplying a mask that should be worn fresh and sterile every single time. I've said this before. If you're going to wear a mask and it's going to be efficacious, you have to follow those guidelines, which is what the doctors do. They don't touch the mask itself. Never touch it, because the minute you touch it, it's contaminated. So then you have to replace it with a new mask, and you have to wash your hands before you do that. This is how the doctors wear them in the hospital. That makes them more effective. The way people are wearing masks, and some of the masks they're wearing just aren't good. This is why I crocheted a Rebel mask, because it just is a little piece that covers just my nose and my mouth, because that's what they said that it has to do. And it doesn't even connect under the chin. It just flaps open, and it's got great big gaps in it, because it does just as much as a lot of those others, and it's probably a lot healthier if you can keep changing it all the time. But, the thing is, it's just not science anymore. It really is not. In February and March, we were told not to wear masks. What changed? The science didn't change. The politics did. This is about compliance. It's not about science. And again, I told you that if it was about science, people who have had the virus, who have had COVID-19 and have recovered, shouldn't have to wear one. There should be an option in there that they shouldn't have to wear one, because they're no longer contagious and they can't get it again. At least at first they said, you wouldn't be able to get it again. Now they're saying, since Trump got it, that, 4 months. Okay, so 4 months. For 4 months, those people shouldn't have to wear a mask. But oh no, they don't do that because they don't care about science. Well, anyway, this is a tweet that Kamalalala put out. And she said, if you're eligible to vote, show up at the ballot box. For those who can't, iwillvote.com. Now, wait a minute. iwillvote.com, isn't that getting people so they can vote? Why are you sending people who are not eligible to vote to that website? Very interesting. By the way, don't bother watching this, because it has absolutely nothing in it about that. She doesn't say that, and it's just mind-numbing Kamalalala. You don't want to have to listen to it. I'm going to save you of that, okay? But I will tell you that this is her tweet. She actually said that. So if you can't vote, just go to this website. Yeah, and we'll get you so you can vote. Anyway, this one right here was just kind of an article that was based on that, so you can look through. But one of the things that she's promising is to reduce detention space for migrants, which means just basically letting them all out. We don't want to have anybody in there. We want all the illegal migrants to just pour into our country. Are you surprised? No, I'm sure you're not. Anyway, then I wanted to just end on this. I'm telling you, it's really, I want to get this out as fast as I can because I want you to see that other stuff. I just thought this was interesting because Donald Trump Jr. tweeted this and says evergreen tweet. So, anyway, here, listen to this.
Biden to me is like having a flashlight with a dying battery and going for a long hike in the woods. It is not going to work out. It's not going to make it.
Pretty much, right? And I agree with that. I think that it's just not going to happen. And I think that they're preparing for it, and all the coup people that are in those videos and things that you need to watch, they know it. They know he's going to win, and he's going to win massively. You can't look at all the rallies and see the tens of thousands of people that are going to these, and then you look at Biden and he has like a handful. So you can't look at that and say, gee, I think the guy with the handful is going to win. No. And the reason that the Biden campaign seems to be confident in everything is because they know they're cheating behind the scenes. So anyway, I get all feisty when it comes to it, but I wanted to get this done. I want to get it out there. So I want to thank you for stopping by, and don't forget, go vote. If you haven't voted yet, please vote red all the way down. We got to kick them out of the House. We got to kick them out of the Senate. We need both the House and the Senate to be red, and the White House, of course. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll see y'all later.